is much easier to be brave if you do not know everything. And so your mama does not know everything.
I love Number of the Stars. Number of the Stars is a book written by Lois Lowry and published in 1989. It centers around a 10-year-old girl named Anne-Marie living in Nazi-occupied Copenhagen as she and her family escort their Jewish friends away from German soldiers and into Sweden. I first read this book around 2nd grade, I think. It was a refreshing look into World War II from a perspective we don't often see. Everyone talks about Britain and France and Germany and Russia and the Pacific Theater. Not many people talk about the Nordic countries like Denmark, who were forced to roll over for Germany or risk senseless death and destruction. That's the main reason why I like it. It's really about the nature of bravery and doing what you can under undesirable circumstances. There's some nail-biting scenes in this book that take on a whole new meaning if you know the historical context. It sidesteps a lot of the horrors of the Holocaust and clues you in on the fact that even someone oblivious like a little Danish girl can identify that soldiers going door to door apprehending specific families can only mean they're doing something bad. This is a common strength in Lowry's writings. I'm not the biggest fan of The Giver, but it also centers around a young person being confronted with something that seems somewhat tense but is absolutely horrific if you know the full context of what it's alluding to. She's pretty good at finding that balance. I think it's good for young readers to dip their toes into these subjects in a way that won't traumatize them. This book is also one of the things that turned me into a bit of a Danophile. After reading this book, I took an interest in Danish history, food, culture, mythology, everything. Denmark is beautiful and I wish more books and movies took place there. As an American writer, Lois Lowry does divulge into a bit of a tourism perspective, which is fine, but especially ironic, since one of my favorite scenes in the book is Anne-Marie complaining about the Germans not speaking her language. End of the day, it doesn't take its setting, subject matter, or audience for granted. It's a harrowing tale about the bravery and ignorance of youth, and that's why I love Number of the Stars.